Imagine streets full of almost new electric cars, abandoned as if they were trash. What is happening in China with these vehicles of the future? But first, like, share and subscribe. Today in I'll Show You in 3 Minutes, we explore the mysterious case of abandoned electric cars in China. China, a leader in the manufacture and purchase of electric vehicles, faces an unexpected phenomenon. Despite selling millions of units, many end up abandoned. According to information from Bloomberg, at least 6 Chinese cities have been seen as car cemeteries. In other words, several fields where thousands of almost new electric vehicles have been abandoned among the weeds and garbage. We explore how government subsidies and rapidly changing policies may have led to overproduction and rapid devaluation of these vehicles. From 2009 to 2022, the Chinese government allocated more than $29 billion in subsidies and tax extensions. The government also helped domestic EV companies stay afloat in their early years by awarding them public contracts. So motivated by government subsidies, hundreds of car manufacturers from all over China, with or without experience in the electric sector, launched themselves into the manufacture of these vehicles. They produced huge quantities of electric vehicles in the initial phase. Learn the stories behind some of these cars, from the dream of sustainable mobility to the abrupt end in an empty lot. Most of these vehicles were purchased by ride-hailing companies like Uber as a way to absorb the growing inventories of electric vehicles. But if electric vehicles were not being purchased by the general public, why were they still producing them? The answer is very simple: to continue obtaining the subsidies that the government granted for each electric vehicle sold. Finally, in 2019, the Chinese government began to cut national subsidies for the purchase of electric vehicles. But as expected, many companies could not survive this change in policies and ended up going bankrupt. In other words, like so many companies, even without prior experience, they began to produce only vehicles to take advantage of government subsidies. They were not prepared to face the real market without state subsidies. And this is how the famous electric vehicle graveyards emerged in China. From this situation regarding the thousands of abandoned vehicles, 2 ideas can be concluded. The first is that getting rid of electric vehicles so quickly reduces the benefits of reducing pollution because manufacturing batteries requires very intensive mining. Therefore, it already represents damage to the environment, and the only way for these electric vehicles to provide an advantage for the environment over gasoline vehicles is to use them for many years. Additionally, the batteries used in each vehicle contain hazardous chemicals and materials that require a special disposal process to prevent contamination. We discuss possible solutions to avoid the abandonment of electric cars and how to improve the sustainability of the sector. Electric cars represent the future, but they face challenges that require attention. Since they run the same distance as a petroleum-based car but take 3 hours to charge. What do you think about the abandonment of electric cars? Comment, share and subscribe for more content.